Toro, Macanudo. Really nice looking wrapper. Kind of confusion on this. It was listed as a Connecticut shade on the website, but it's also listed as a Brazilian Connecticut shade. And I had to get right with that. Then I'm looking at other things and it's saying, well, it's a Connecticut shade wrapper grown in Brazil. That's not possible. The earth, wherever it's grown, is the mother. Now, the earth just can't grow tobacco. It needs a man. It needs a man to plant the seed. Literally, a man farmer is no different than a father with the woman, and the woman being the mother. The woman is the earth, a place that receives the seed and gives you back a harvest. I can't stress it enough. There's no difference between farming and fucking. Now, full pack. Now, $10. Solid mid-tier price, Pennsylvania. Now, some damage. This I found after I bought it. I didn't drop it. I don't know what happened. Maybe something. We'll see what happens once I light it. Damn it. It has like an interesting yellowish look to it. Clearly it's Brazilian grown. Or is it Brazilian seed grown in Connecticut shade? Because that makes sense. Because when you say shade, once you say shade, it's like, okay, it was grown in Connecticut, and then shade. But then where does Brazil come in? Is it a Brazilian tobacco, Brazilian seed grown in Connecticut? But no, pretty much most of the places are saying it's a Brazilian wrapper, Connecticut shit. The fuck? You guys could figure it out. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Mexican San Andreas binder and Brazilian, Nicaraguan, and 2 different Dominicans on the filler. Apparently from Mao, which Mao Dominican's more rare. It's kind of expensive. I'm gonna light it up. I hope it's not a piece of shit, but honestly, it's general. And it's Macanudo 2 safe bets. Generally, Macanudos are just a good time, really. Might not be mind-blowing, but they're never basic, and they're never boring, and they're never shit. Really, there's no shit Macanudos. Now, if you go to the flavored Macanudos, those aren't real cigars. Flavored cigars, it's imagination. It's for people that can't handle tobacco. And it is what it is. Flavored cigars is like, you know, when there's guys that say they like women now. I'm like, I don't do that anymore. I don't sleep with men anymore. I like women. And you're like, sure you do. You smoke flavored cigars. What the fuck is going on? It's not a dominating cigar. It's a gentle medium strength with the back. It is really about 55% darkness. There is some of that damage we already talked about. In the review I read, I think from one of those websites anyways, they did mention about being a delicate wrapper, and they had some minor damage in their wrapper before they lit it up. So keep that in mind. But this is not like some major release where like everyone's smoking this. So, but it's available. But the regular Inspirados, the regular green, the white, the black, the orange, the red, the orange. Those are the ones that are really available. Inspirado blue hasn't happened yet, and that'd be cool when it does. It's enjoyable. It's very smooth. It's on the lighter side. Right around here, though, it finally picked up a little bit. It was a quiet start. So this is more, I think, of a breakfast time cigar. We'll see how it changes. Kind of a banana nut vibe. Very mildly spiced, very little spice. Kind of nutty, creamy banana. If you like that kind of vibe, like an easy Sunday morning, it might be it. For nighttime, I mean, I'm reviewing, but I wouldn't normally smoke this at nighttime. As far as a different cigar that might have a similar vibe, you got the Romeo and Julieta. they had the Nicaraguan Connecticut, and that was that was on the yellow. The Romeo and Juliet is 1875, but it was the yellow. So they had first they had like the Romeo with Placencia. Well, I think that was under, maybe I'll tell you this, with some Placencia tobacco, and then they had the orange Romeo under Placencia, like produced Placencia. And then I think they had the blue that was AJ, maybe I'm getting confused. But then there was Romeo San Andreas that was, I think, Placencia. And then there was a Romeo with a yellow band that's still available, a light yellow band. And that was the first mass-produced, I think, Nicaraguan Connecticut shade. So, you get what I'm trying to say? We're basically Nicaraguan grown. But basically, normally Connecticut's are Connecticut, grown in Connecticut under shade cloth, cheesecloth. But then it got cheaper to make it in Ecuadorian. So they replaced Connecticut with Ecuador because Ecuadorians work cheaper than Connecticutans. And then they didn't need to use cheesecloth because Ecuador had more clouds up higher altitude. So they used the Connecticut seed. Due to Democrats and the cost of living in Connecticut, they said, yeah, Ecuador is as good as Connecticut. It's the same thing. Great construction. Nothing bad to say about it, but it's more of a chill vibe. It's like if you want like a light banana note, a light nutty note, very mild spice, nice breakfast. I would have this I would smoke this. The wrapper is delicate though. I would smoke this while eating my fucking breakfast on a Sunday morning. So deep into the cigar, it's really like a medium strength at this point. It's not a strong stick at all. I still think I prefer the classic Inspirado Connecticut, which I think is actually using, maybe it's Ecuadorian Connecticut. Anyways, but they did have, I think, some later on with True Connecticut. Maybe it was originally True Connecticut back in the day. I digress. I know on the Romeo side, no, Monte Cristo side, the Monte Cristo White's Ecuadorian Connecticut, but then they made a more limited version. Was it the vintage with True Connecticut? Whatever. Anyways, though, not bad at all. Not a great blend, though, but not bad. 4.55 on this. I can't say I was bored on this because I knew what expecting it to get. It was a Connecticut shade, and it did offer some uniqueness for that, like banana nut kind of vibe with light black pepper. Really no earth, slightly creaminess to it, but the finish is very weak, very short, and it's not a trailblazing blend. It was unique enough to, because they changed, I mean, some type of hybrid wrapper out of Brazil, give or take, whatever the fuck, but not enough to justify it. You would just have a better time with the Inspirado White or the classic Macanudo side. Just because I enjoy Macanudo and I'm a general fanboy because they really never let me down, I'm not going to just be a shill for each individual blend. Each one's get judged individually. So could you enjoy this if you want a lighter Connecticut, a weaker Connecticut? Sure. At least it has a little bit uniqueness to it. But for the money, I would go with the classic Macanudo or the Inspirado White. And I did actually enjoy the Romeo Nicaraguan Connecticut more than this. Mainly because I think it put more flavor out. This was nice, but it didn't push the flavor it had hard enough. It felt kind of too weak for what it should have been. At least it should have been more medium plus towards the end. It should have been pushing it, and the finish is kind of weak. So not bad, nothing bad to say about it besides a little bit of a delicate wrapper. But anyways, though, you could enjoy it. But for my opinion on this, I'm not going to say pass, but I'm not going to tell you box worthy or 5-pack worthy. If you want to try it to see that how Brazilian and Connecticut shade kind of mix, and that's fine. It's kind of a limited cigar. But in the end, if you're going for that Connecticut vibe, you want to go Macanudo, go for the Inspirado, save the money. Or if you're going to spend around the same money, go for the classic series with the green and gold band. That's my opinion. I'll see you around. Stay fresh. No cigars in prison.